Place City Interviews, roll 34.
How often do you watch a film that provokes you to question what you believe? The Revenant and Full Metal Jacket use similar storytelling tools to conjure such an idea. Both of these are historical films, in the sense that all the events taking place are based on quarrels between countries. Throughout the plot of Alejandro Inarritu's The Revenant, we follow a group of Native Americans who are forced to antagonize frontiersmen to find their chief's daughter, Powaka. In the first act, they drive the European men out of their working camp because in 1823, the American Supreme Court ruled that the natives could not own land but hold a right of occupancy. So basically the natives were defending the land that they had owned since the beginning of history until the Europeans came in and are now stealing it from them. The details, though, we might not realize when watching the film because we experience these events from the frontiersman's perspective. We feel as though we are on their side, but how justified are our protagonists? When Hugh Glass's son is murdered and left for dead by his fellow frontiersmen following a bear attack, he runs into another Native American who bonds with Hugh and helps heal his body. After Hugh is done resting, he finds his Native American friend hanged to a tree by the French traders. He witnesses Powaka, the chief's daughter, being raped by the same men. These people, whom we once thought might be our protagonists, are in reality the antagonists. The plot is simply a device to tell the Native American story through Hugh Glass's tragic adventure. These people aren't barbaric or malicious. The resolution of the film proves so. Hugh Glass being the neutral difference between his people and the natives. He knows what is wrong. B-story exposition even hints at this when it's revealed he killed a lieutenant officer for killing his native wife. The deeper story lies within their struggle to keep what's theirs and what they went through throughout history. In Stanley Kubrick's Full Metal Jacket, we are presented the tragic story of Private Lawrence, who ends up psychologically tearing himself apart because after he fails to do most of the training exercises due to his obesity and breaks the rules, his squad leader announces everyone else in the squad getting the penalty. This provokes them to physically abuse him and drive him to the point of suicide. We feel empathy and pity for Lawrence because we wanted him to succeed. The second half of the film follows Lawrence's squad partner, Joker, through Vietnam, where none of these soldiers seem to have a legitimate reason for killing all the local Vietnamese people.
There's the enemy, kill him.
What do I think about America's involvement in the war? Well, I think we should win.
We watch Vietnamese being slaughtered through the hate of men motivated without reason other than the ideal manifest destiny. In the climax, when a sniper takes out one of the American soldiers, they find their way up to the building, only to discover this sniper is just a child. We feel no empathy for the soldiers, but for the child, and thus completing Kubrick's thesis. The main statement Kubrick arises is that a psychologically tortured man with a broken self-esteem has more reason to kill his squad leader and himself than our troops have to fight a war against the innocent Vietnamese people. There's nothing civil about slaughtering people, but that isn't how the Europeans or how the American soldiers saw the natives or the Vietnamese. They were striving to set their own civilization through barbarism. In both of these stories, plot and perspective are tools the filmmakers manipulate to tell the real story of selfish and unreasonable motivation behind Americans.
I wanted to meet interesting and stimulating people of an ancient culture and kill them. I wanted to be the first kid on my block to get a confirmed kill.
Another example is in Inglorious Bastards, when Nazis are sitting in the cinema and enjoying an action film about the Americans being killed. As Americans, Tarantino is trying to tell us something, because we are sitting behind a screen enjoying watching Nazis being killed. We see just as much violence against the Nazis by the end of Inglorious Bastards as the Nazis see against us and their film. This analyzation isn't in any way justifying the decisions and actions of either party, but to show the way Tarantino's allegory criticizes the way we think our protagonists are justified simply because we're being told the story from their perspective. These stories provoke question as to our real meaning of justice and morality. Films that do such a thing convey deeper meaning through what is being conveyed on screen and hold an everlasting philosophical statement regarding the absurdity of racial and cultural disputes.
Okay,